A ripping right.
I'm going to be in the best of shape, and I'm sure that it's going to be a very good fight.
By Max Schmeling, Lewis is in trouble.
I'm happy that I have the chance again to fight for the title. I hope the best man may win.
Dynamite right. Lewis goes down. Referee Arthur Donovan signals.
The year is 1938. Joe Louis is in the prime of his reign, carrying the weight of a nation as he looks to right the only wrong of his career. After a string of dominant performances that cemented his place as the heavyweight champion, including brutal knockouts over former champions like James J. Braddock and Max Baer. But now comes a calculated technician with a surgeon's precision and a right hand like a hammer, the patient but deadly strategist that is Max Schmeling.
Max, what makes you think that you can lick him?
Well, I saw him fight Paulino. I saw a picture of Baer Lewis. I think I have a big chance to beat him.
A disciplined tactician who turned pro at the young age of 19, with some already admirable victories against former champions like Jack Shockley and young Stribling, and most notably a stunning knockout over Joe Louis, where he systematically dismantled the rising star.
I see no reason why Schmeling thinks that he should regain his title. I will take care of him on night June the 22nd.
Will the relentless force that is Joe Louis be able to withstand Max Schmeling's calculated counters and finally put his old rival to the canvas? Or will Schmeling once again expose the Brown Bomber's weaknesses and leave him to taste defeat and the bitter sting of history once more? Joe Louis's fights in late 1930s America had become national events, akin to the World Series, Inauguration Day, or a Saturday night, when families gathered around the radio for the biggest show in town.
Why should I go into the ring gun shy when Schmeling's 2 years older and I'm 2 years smarter in boxing?
Max Schmeling was not the most active contender in the division, with a career that ebbed and flowed. But his place in Nazi Germany's propaganda machine ensured he was never far from the spotlight. Being held up as proof of Aryan superiority, forced into a role far bigger than boxing, and carrying the expectations of a regime that saw him as more than just a fighter will typically alter your career path.
Frankfurt on Main, round after round of applause.
Schmeling was a stone-cold yet fully determined fighter, and he had a lot to prove in the ring if he wanted to show that his first victory over Joe Louis was no fluke. And as we can see, he was talented enough to once again undertake a challenge against the great man. While Joe Louis was already seen as one of the greatest heavyweights of his time, his rematch with Max Schmeling carried stakes far beyond the ring. With the weight of a nation and much of the world watching, many were eager to see how Louis would respond to the man who had handed him his only defeat. Fight night arrived on June 22nd, 1938, and while Schmeling carried the confidence of a man who had already toppled the champion once before, Louis's cold, silent focus spoke louder than any pre-fight bravado. There was no need for intimidation, only the promise of swift and violent redemption.
This is the feature attraction for the World's Heavyweight Championship, the former heavyweight title holder, Max Schmeling, World's Heavyweight Champion, Joe Louis.
The entire world is waiting for the result of this enormously publicized heavyweight championship fight. Heavyweight champion of the world comes out for round one in the dark trunks with the white stripe. Max Schmeling has defended it 3 times. In his last defense of the title, 10 months, Max Schmeling won the heavyweight championship of the world in June of 1930, 8 years ago, from Jack Sharkey. Max was awarded the fight on a foul, tough 15-round decision to Sharkey, former heavyweight champion, ever to regain the precious title. 6 explosive right to the jaw hurts Max Schmeling. Joe Louis all over Max Schmeling here in round one. Ripping punches to the head. Joe, a dynamite right to the jaw, and Schmeling goes down here in the first round. Max is up at the count of Louis moves in. Ripping punches by the Brown Bomber send Schmeling down again. A crushing right explodes off. It doesn't look like Schmeling's going to make it. It's all over. Joe Louis electrifies
The winner and still champion, Joe Louis!
for 10 more electric.
Joe Louis came out like a man possessed, overwhelming Schmeling from the opening bell with a relentless assault. After just 2 minutes and 4 seconds of the first round, a battered and defenseless Schmeling crumbled to the canvas for the third and final time, forcing his corner to throw in the towel and giving Louis a resounding victory.
Another jolting right, and Max goes down for the...
Joe Louis successfully defended his title in devastating fashion against a former champion who had once exposed his greatest weaknesses. Still, Schmeling had no answer for the oldest truth in boxing. When Louis smelled blood, he finished the job. And with that, Louis's resume was once again strengthened, continuing to shape up to be one of the greatest in history. Max Schmeling's career took an unexpected turn after his crushing defeat to Joe Louis in 1938. Once a symbol of German boxing dominance, he found himself drafted into the Luftwaffe during World War II, serving as a paratrooper. After the war, he reinvented himself outside the ropes, becoming a successful businessman as a Coca-Cola distributor in Germany. While his days as a heavyweight contender had long passed, his legacy took on a new shape, not just as a fighter, but as a man of character. In a final act of sportsmanship and friendship, he even helped Joe Louis financially when the former champion fell on hard times. And with that, Schmeling's story was no longer just one of victories and defeats. It became a testament to redemption, loyalty, and the power of second chances. He lived to age 99, his legacy extending beyond the ring in ways few could have imagined.